It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. People don't fear your speech, they fear your schedule. They fear the rule that arrives on time, every time, whether you smile or not. Watch what happens when you install one clock in a noisy room. You set 3 windows, 1 breath before any in-person answer, 3 hours before any substantive written reply, 24 hours before any formal decision, and you publish a single enforcement rule. Miss the requirement, meet the consequence. The chatter doesn't vanish. It has nothing to grip. Urgent pings stop buying themselves discounts. Long emails stop hunting for your pulse. People begin to show up prepared because preparation is cheaper than pleading. Noise drops. Compliance rises. You didn't win with charm. You won with predictability that makes your outcomes look inevitable. See how a clock rules a room. A project manager tries to skip a sign-off just this once to hit a headline. Yesterday you might have argued, pleaded, or matched their panic. Today you point to the charter, incomplete packets, auto-defer 24 hours, and log the cause. No raised voice, no moral lecture, no debate about intentions. Their urgency bounces off the wall. They learn the only path that moves time is the path that respects time. A client calls at 10:58 p.m. to renegotiate terms because tomorrow is crucial. Your office replies at business hours with the acceleration clause and 2 options. They either pay for speed or accept the lane. A rumor spins online. You acknowledge receipt and give the next update window. Rivals burn oxygen. You do not. The clock is your sword. The policy is its edge. From personality to policy, that is the turn that ends manipulation. When behavior depends on your mood, gamblers play you. They wait for your tired day, your need to look generous, your temptation to explain. When behavior depends on published rules, the game becomes expensive and dull. Dull is good. Dull pushes opportunists elsewhere. You can be warm and still be a wall, but you cannot be a wall if you are a weather report. Predictability prices games out of the market because it removes the profit in theatrics. People learn fast that crying exception is just a slower way to meet the same outcome. Think of the subtle tells you erase when you standardize. Without rules, your fast replies admit fear. Your long paragraphs leak insecurity. Your midnight edits confess that noise can move you. With rules, your acknowledgements are short. Your cadence is known. Your decisions arrive the same way, regardless of who's shouting. Predictability turns personal attacks into scheduling problems, and scheduling problems are boring to fight. The talkers will call you rigid. Let them name your spine. Rigid schedules bend chaos into routine. Routine forces adversaries to show their hand because only specifics pass your gate. Requirements, evidence, trade-offs. Stories don't pass. Numbers do. This is the thesis. Standardize first, negotiate second. You don't bargain over the door, you bargain inside the room. Standards are the door. Set the frame windows, decision rights, escalation steps, fees for clock compression, then invite discussion within that frame. Most conflicts end there because the incentive changes. It's cheaper to comply than to perform. Those who still want drama expose themselves as unreliable inputs. That is useful clarity. You move them out of critical lanes without apology because your system, not your sentiment, decides. Notice the second effect. Predictability compacts your power. When people can forecast your timing and consequence, they self-govern to avoid pain. They align without you hovering. Your silence starts to carry weight, because silence means the same thing every time. You're processing, not panicking. Your single update becomes a drumbeat everyone can plan around. The room calms. Decisions get cleaner. Outcomes feel pre-written not by magic, but by a system that starves chaos of oxygen. You will be tempted to be reasonable, to make small, friendly exceptions. Understand the trap. Every exception becomes an advertisement that pressure works. Reasonable is good, bendable is expensive. Keep the clock, keep the rule. Negotiate inside the fence, not with the fence. If you cannot be both loved and feared, be predictable enough that people fear wasting their own time against your wall. Standardize first, negotiate second. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. You were taught that being flexible keeps rooms calm, that staying open wins trust, that hearing everyone out prevents conflict. In practice, these habits create handles other people can pull to set your pace and discount your price. Kindness without structure is a discount tag. Openness without sequencing is a map of your weak points. Consensus without decision is a stage where the loudest actor bills the quietest worker. Flexibility as a tell begins the moment your exceptions become easy to predict. You think you are being generous. Observers see you are avoiding friction. They stop arguing the merits and start pressing the calendar. A vendor demands a same-day answer to keep momentum, and you fold because you want to be supportive. A colleague asks to quickly add scope just this once, and you accept because you dislike being the bad guy. Each concession moves the negotiation from logic to timing. The lesson they learn is simple. You can be argued by the clock. Notice the slope. After 3 flexible calls, requests multiply. Could you extend the trial? Could you cover my slot? Could you present while I handle strategy? Your pseudo-kindness trains the room. People with real constraints adapt. Opportunists optimize around your softness. Terms drift. Dates become suggestions. Your calendar becomes public property. By the time you finally resist, you are cast as cruel for breaking a pattern you created. Replace the performance with pricing. Flexibility is valuable. Price it. Yes, if we reduce scope by A, or move deadline by B, or add resource C. Say it calmly, and say it every time. When you give grace, name the grace and the end of it. One exception this quarter. Next time requires a change order. The first enforcement feels cold, the second feels clear, the third feels like culture. You will still help, but you won't subsidize chaos. Openness as telemetry is quieter and more dangerous. You share timelines in public threads to look transparent, write long decision diaries to model honesty, and keep your calendar open for access. To rivals, these are not virtues, they are instruments. A competitor watches your roadmap and pre-announces a thinner feature 2 weeks before your launch. A resentful peer reads your diary, notes which executive rattles you, and times objections for maximum friction. A noisy stakeholder scans your calendar and floods your only deep work block with quick syncs to derail preparation. Separate clarity from leakage. Clarity is standards, acceptance tests, who decides, and when review happens. Leakage is live dates, brittle dependencies, moods, and unpriced doubts. Publish the invariants, protect the volatiles until they are history. Move hard debate into short rooms with owners, minutes, and a deadline. Ship, then explain. Replace live roadmaps with shipped changelogs and signed briefs. This is not secrecy, it is control of tempo, which is half of strategy. Audit your own craving to be understood. Often it is a bid for approval dressed as transparency. You explain and over-explain, hoping to earn peace. Instead, you create receipts that can be quoted against you. Machiavelli would advise, keep the reasons simple and the record tight. A short why, a clear standard, a visible result. You owe proof to your people. You do not owe ammunition to your opponents. Now, consensus theater. Endless circles of talk rarely produce justice. They produce fatigue. Power slides to the most exhausting voice, the person with time to argue forever. Meetings become arenas where stamina, not sense, decides. Hearing everyone out turns into attacks on those who actually ship. The room learns that decisions are reversible if someone pouts loudly enough, so pouting scales. Peace is replaced by performance. End the play by designing predictability, not universal agreement. Predictability calms more than persuasion. Set debate windows and close them. Name the decider in advance. Tie the decision to criteria visible before emotions spike. Publish the call, the owner, and the review date. When someone reopens without new data, the answer is not another circle. It is the calendar. We review on the 14th. You will be called rigid. Accept it. Rigor is cheaper than drift. 2 scenes anchor the lesson. Scene 1, product planning. Old you streams the roadmap, invites DMs, and accommodates every small addition. Outcome, scope balloons, rivals preempt. The launch slips while everyone smiles. New you publishes acceptance tests, runs a closed pilot, locks scope with a change order path, and ships. Afterward, you post a clean post-mortem. Peace follows not from openness, but from order. Scene 2, salary season. Old you answers an EOD, email with rushed numbers, apologizes for asking market rate, and hopes goodwill will fill the gap. New you replies in your response window with benchmarks, scope growth, and measurable impact, then requests the meeting with the decider present. If speed is demanded, you trade scope or gain written ownership of risk. Your price stops moving with their tone. Personal life mirrors the office. A friend flatters you when they need access and vanishes when you need time. You used to stay open and hear them out until the conversation became a loop designed to win your leniency. You change the script. Shorter calls, clear favors, clean no's. Nostalgia loses its leverage when terms appear. The friendship that was real survives. The siphon finds a softer target. The rule is simple and unfriendly to illusions. Your flexibility is a currency. Your openness is a signal. Your willingness to talk forever is a resource. Spend each on purpose. To govern yourself is to govern tempo, exposure, and consequence. You can stay kind, you can stay human, but you cannot remain cheap. Kindness after order feels like safety. Kindness instead of order feels like bait. Choose the one that scales. Be precise first, generous second, and deaf to guilt. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. Predictability is power. When people can forecast your standards, they plan around you. When your standards melt under heat, they plan through you. Approval addiction, humiliation, sensitivity, and scarcity. Panic sell your rules for comfort and call it being reasonable. You do not lose leverage in coups, you lose it in nods. If you want a realm that holds, you must govern the urges that trade tomorrow for applause. Begin with approval hunger and be forensic. The need to be liked forces rushed replies and late-stage discounts. A friendly partner writes, "Can you confirm tonight?" And your fingers sprint. You reply at midnight to look committed, teaching them that their clock owns your calendar. A prospect says, "Your price feels high," and you volunteer a cut to keep the relationship warm. Warmth is not a metric, it is a handle. You call it flexibility. They hear a policy that collapses under eye contact. Trace the pattern. Friendliness without limits becomes goodwill without terms. Goodwill without terms becomes precedent. Precedent becomes the knife that trims you next quarter. Tie it to visible tells so you can intercept it in the body. Tell 1, instant reassurance. No worries, we'll make it work. Tell 2, paragraph-length explanations where 1 sentence would do. Tell 3, Discounts offered before scope is written. Install a micro-ritual when these appear. Drop your breath to the belly for 2 slow cycles. Lower your voice by half a note. Ask one narrow question before any explanation. Which outcome do you need? Then speak in terms, not hopes. Earliest start is the 15th after deposit. Scope changes price. List changes. I confirm by noon tomorrow. You are not trying to be liked. You are building a road other people can drive without swerving you. Now the humiliation alarm. The fear of looking rigid triggers last-minute exceptions that train everyone to stall. A stakeholder delays approvals and hints that your timeline is a bit strict. Your pride decides not to be that leader, so you wave the gate at 9 p.m. The work begins. The gate is now a suggestion. People learn that pressure applied late overrides policy written early. Vendors do it. Friends do it. You do it to yourself, broadcasting leniency to prove you are balanced. The loop is simple. Wound, exception, exploitation. They wait for your discomfort to peak, then ask for what they always wanted. Convert this fear into procedure. Publish your gates and obey them in public. Cut-off for change requests is Tuesday 5 p.m. Items after move to the next sprint. When someone invokes fairness, point to the rule you wrote in cold blood, not the mood you feel in hot rooms. If you must honor a true emergency, record the exception, its cost, and the repayment plan before the work starts. Exceptions that pay themselves back can be repeated. Exceptions that flatter you cannot. Rigid in principle, flexible in mechanism, that balance is governance, not vanity. Scarcity panic is next, the voice that whispers this is the last chance you will ever see. Anxiety about losing the deal torpedoes your timelines and caps. You buy relief with concessions and call it momentum. A prospect says, another shop can start tomorrow. You move start dates, volunteer weekends, and stack promises your team cannot bear. Scarcity loves speed because speed hides math. You accept late payments because we need the win. You pull money from future work to calm today's chest. This is not strategy. It is a pawn sprinting into a queen's file. Install arithmetic before adrenaline. Decide floors and ceilings when calm. Price floor, scope edges, capacity caps. Decide response windows that you keep even when flattered or insulted. Decide the 2-touch rule for silence, 1 follow-up, then you wait. Write the sentences that will save you under heat. We don't move under clocks. Earliest start after deposit is the 15th. Happy to discuss when scope is written. Scarcity will try to make you prove hunger equals hunger for excellence. It does not. Excellence is kept by sequence. Sequence is kept by rules. Now, the cooling protocol make predictability a habit, not a mood. First, 1-sentence receipts. Noted. Received. We will review Thursday. These hold the door closed while you think. They look cold to those who fed on your warmth. They look like clarity to those who plan. Second, fixed delay windows. No public statements inside 24 hours of any public hit. No scope deviations without a written impact summary. No personnel decisions inside 48 hours, unless safety demands it. Delay turns adrenaline into evidence. Third, second mind checks. No significant price change, timeline shift, endorsement, or penalty without a counterweight legal, operations, or a trusted peer whose incentive is continuity, not applause. If you lead alone, make tomorrow's you the second mind. Schedule the decision and let your colder self sign it. Fourth, written rationale offline. State the rule, the breach or exception, the cost, and the aim. Writing drags motive into daylight and scales force to the line you are, protecting time, cash, information, or morale. Watch how this holds in the wild. A friendly client says, "We're almost there, can you shave a bit for the relationship?" Approval hunger reaches for the discount. You breathe low. Scope is unchanged, terms stand. Confirm by Thursday noon. A colleague hints, "You're being rigid just this once." The humiliation alarm rings. You point to the calendar, cut off past Tuesday. "We'll schedule it next sprint." A prospect claims, "Offer expires at midnight." Scarcity claws at the throat. You answer, "We don't move under clocks. We'll review tomorrow." They push. You do not. Your team watches the boundary hold in daylight. Their respect becomes compound interest. Expect resistance. People who ate from your unpredictability will call your schedule harsh. Those who steered you with praise will say you've changed. Good. The new climate will reduce opportunists and elevate operators. Predictability is a tax on manipulation and a subsidy for competence. It makes liars pay and builders breathe. You will lose some noise and gain a plan. There will be nights when your hand hovers over the keyboard, ready to clarify. That is the wound begging to be sovereign again. Let it itch. Read the list. Breath low. Ask narrow. Decide on paper. Do not buy love with discounts. Do not buy safety with speed. Do not buy honor with exceptions. Loyalty worth keeping respects rules worth keeping. If a friend requires your chaos to feel connected, they are not a friend, they are a lobby. Remember the law under all of this. The first to move under pressure loses the option to choose. Rushed replies sell time. Late-stage discounts sell price. Last-minute exceptions sell policy. And panic sells your face to any hand that knocks. Your job is not to look generous. Your job is to be legible. A legible ruler is expensive to game and cheap to trust. That is how small promises grow into a durable realm. So set cadence. Publish your gates. Keep your windows. Carry the cold sentences into warm rooms. Put the wound back in the passenger seat and let the rule drive. You will look less eager and more inevitable. And inevitability is a language even your enemies learn to respect. Calm first, then terms. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Your downfall begins the moment you let strangers program your hour. A red badge blinks. A quick question arrives with a smile that hides a blade. A forwarded chat appears with one line missing. You perform on demand. Your reply is longer than your office requires and warmer than your authority allows. In that speed, you sell your position cheap. You pay with tomorrow's leverage to buy relief in the next minute. The other side does not fight the facts. They seize the frame. The story becomes your breath rate, not your reasons. Minute by minute, you help them write it. Minute 0, the ping. Minute 1, your paragraph. Minute 3, for context, you leak details that belong only in the ledger. Minute 5, a cool 12-word reply returns and owns the hour. Minute 7, you add screenshots and promise a fuller explanation. Minute 9, a short, surgical question widens the hole. Minute 12, you contradict a clause from minute 1 to plug the leak you made. Minute 15, apology for tone. Minute 18, apology for substance. By minute 20, you have traded author for defendant and mortgaged tomorrow's options to pay for today's relief. This is tempo loss. You didn't lose on truth, you lost on time. Make pace control non-negotiable. Impose a tariff of time on every reply. Draft on paper, where there is no send button. Route heat through one advisor who gains nothing from your noise. If they choose the hour, you choose the format. One paragraph with nouns and dates. If they choose the format, you choose the hour. Silence is not surrender when it buys position. It is custody of the frame. You are not paid to flail, you are paid to decide. Receipts and regret arrive next. Haste tries to be everything at once, strict, kind, transparent, discreet. At noon you swear by policy. At 2 you plead confidentiality. At 6 you carve an exception. Just this once. None is a lie. Together they look like design. Screenshots turn into coins. Timestamps betray you. A sentence softened at 1-3 lives forever in 10 private chats by 1-4. Later facts do not erase early theatre. They sit beside it and make you look split. Your critic doesn't need to forge evidence. He needs only to stack your edits in sequence. The archive becomes your prosecutor. The timeline becomes your cross-examination. Price the impulse so you respect it. One frantic thread can shave points off a round because buyers price distress. A public reversal adds pre-approvals and converts flexible budgets into rationed milestones. A promise spat out under pressure becomes a permanent discount, a free month, an escalated support clause, because once you bargain from guilt, the market keeps pricing you as guilty. Relief is sugar, position is bread. Do not trade your meals for candy. Structure is armor. Answer the charged claim, not its orbit. Swap mist for nouns, heat for dates, posture for records. Do the review in private. Present one clean page when ready. If you were wrong, name the act and the repair once. If you were right, let the clock carry your case. Speak as if an enemy will read your sentence to a jury because he will. Brevity, properly armed, is force. Now, ally fatigue. Predictable partners drift because high-maintenance rooms repel talent. The senior engineer who must triage your 1A outbursts will soon anchor a roadmap elsewhere. The board member who must defend your reversals will hedge until neutral feels like wisdom. A client who budgets for stability will not buy a leader whose calendar is a siren. People don't leave because they hate you. They leave because your weather ruins their season. Neutrals migrate to the room that wastes less time. Steady hands prefer the leader who keeps the hour. Rebuild capacity with cadence, not speeches. Promise your core, I will speak once, clearly, after verification. Keep it. Send short factual updates before any public move so no ally is blindsided by your impulse. Reward the reliable in daylight. Correct the volatile in private. Document both. Predictability is kindness because it lets serious people plan. When your tempo is known, patient partners stand closer, opportunists lose angles, and spectators grow bored. You do not need applause. You need a schedule others can trust. Modern scenes make this plain. A competitor launches a feature aimed at your crown. You itch to clap back. You do not. You ship a counter, announce once with dates and numbers, and let posture be inferred from pace. A manager performs insolence in the group channel. You skip the sermon, issue a written correction Wednesday at noon, enforce Friday at 5, and close the loop. A client drags a discount fight into the feed. You route to the contract and answer once with terms. A former partner posts a personal story. You speak one line to the only person owed an answer and shut the door. If you still refuse early discipline, the market will buy supervision for you. Oversight tightens after public flailing. Approvals appear where trust once lived. Budgets shrink. Audits multiply. Your signature becomes a counter-signature from someone less talented but more trusted. Every panic becomes a clause. Every reversal becomes a weekly review. You think you are buying relief with words. You are renting permission from people who now price you as volatile. Inconsistency purchases supervision, and supervision bills you in time. Measure the leash so you respect it. One midnight thread can turn a single clear approval into 3 stacked gates. A messy all hands can convert a flexible scope into rations. A contrite but unplanned apology can lock you into permanent concessions, discounts, extensions, escalated support, because once you pay with guilt, the market remembers the rate. Tomorrow's autonomy dies in today's relief. Reputation debt compounds. The interest is control surrendered to other hands. Prevent the trap by rehearsing calm while the sea is flat. Design the ladder before the rain. Rule visible. Private warning quoting the rule and the clock. Measured consequence on schedule. Restoration path clear to all. Cold process, warm tone. No sarcasm. No spectacle. Compress necessary harms into a single, exact act. Distribute benefits in quiet, regular doses. People can forgive a clean cut they saw coming. They will not forgive the endless drip of indecision. Early, quiet enforcement prevents late, maximal force and preserves your face. Return to tempo. Urgency pings will keep calling your name. The crowd will say now. Your wound will say faster. Decline all. 3. If the matter is real, it will still be real in an hour. Use that hour to gather records, cool your blood, tighten your language, and choose the single move that widens options. Identity holds when the wound does not hold the wheel. Authority survives when time is kept and terms are honored. Your enemies do not need your secrets. They need your speed. Deny them the clock, and they must argue facts. Where you prefer to live, keep the hour, and you become predictable in the only way that matters. Not a puppet of pings, but a metronome of consequence. Your allies can plan. Your critics must price discipline. Predators who fed on your reaction will find no show to sell and will return to numbers. Own the hour, price your words, and move once with weight. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Drop the fantasy that good intentions create loyalty. Rooms do not run on feelings, they run on standards. Calm is the table, but enforcement is the ink. When your rules are steady and your costs are credible, people plan around you instead of performing for you. Respect follows standards. Warmth follows respect. Order makes both possible. Respect before warmth. You can be liked and ignored, praised at lunch, bypassed at the decision. Respect begins the moment people can forecast you and the price of crossing you. Remove your mood from the price. One tone on Monday and Friday. The same answer at noon and at midnight. If a meeting starts 10 minutes late, it still ends on the hour. If someone misses your window, the reply moves to the next cycle. Volatility invites negotiation. Reliability ends it before it starts. Work makes this plain. The fund manager buys pizza, then begs for weekend miracles because scope leaked all week. The team smiles and hedges. Replace charm with cadence. Priorities by noon Monday, midweek check at 5. Friday wrap with next steps. Miss an upstream handoff twice and scope shrinks automatically. Next sprint, no. Lectures, no heat, just sequence. In friendship, you stop being the convenient firefighter by publishing how you book time. Confirm by noon, lock by 6, release unconfirmed slots. In dating, you do not argue after 10. You keep that rule when provoked. Predictability crowns trust because people can plan with you, not around you. Respect is not loud. It is the quiet knowledge that your yes costs the same on good days and bad. It is the silence at 11:47 p.m. because your policy says morning. It is the calendar that does not bend for pressure. Over time, the right people tune to your rhythm, and the wrong people drift without a fight. Peace appears not as a speech, but as a schedule. Terms over stories. Stories sound noble. We get each other. Our hearts match. We're aligned. And they dissolve at the first storm. Translate care into cadence, scope, access, and consequence. Cadence sets when updates land and when renegotiation opens. Scope names what is inside the fence and what is not. Access decides who gets your time and how they book it. Consequence declares what changes when a promise slides. Write it once, refer to it often. Paper outlives mood. Examples: sharpen the blade. Work. 3 deliverables by the 10th. Updates Tuesday and Friday. Product owns scope. Finance owns budget. Legal owns risk. If a deliverable slips, we cut scope, not sleep. Collaboration. 2 posts per week. Shared dashboard. First of month renegotiation. Miss twice in a month and we pause or rebalance. Family. I visit first Sundays. If booked, I move to next month. Guilt does not alter the calendar. Intimacy. We meet twice a week. Conflict in calm hours only. Cancellations within 6 hours cost the next slot. These are plain sentences. That is why they work. Publish decision rights to kill moral theatre. If product calls scope and you own timeline, arguments shrink to facts. If you own your sleep, late pings route to morning. If you own your budget, generosity has a number, not a fog. Loyalty becomes measurable when responsibility is named, and schedules are public. People call systems cold. Systems are what let warmth survive heat. Renegotiate only with new facts. New market, new role, newborn facts. Busy, crazy week. You know how it is weather. If you let weather rewrite the law, the room learns to pay you with storms. Keep the line you drew in calm. Move it only when reality moves, not when excuses speak. Over time, even critics call this fairness. Peace follows paper because paper survives the hour. Signals over please. Please rent attention for a day. Signals buy trust for the long term. Reduce promises to near zero and make your value observable. Set response windows you can keep and then keep them. If you run on 24 hours, reply within 24. If you need 48, claim it and meet it. Document decisions who decided, on what scope, by which date. Maintain delivery cadence when tired. A rule that fails on bad days is decoration. A rule that holds on bad days is governance. Price others by pattern. After a miss, do they repair unprompted with a plan and a make-good, or do they perform apology theatre and ask for faith? When you say 7 sharp, do they arrive at 7 or at 7:12 with 3 texts? When you decline respectfully, do they escalate or adjust? People reveal respect not in compliments, but in how they treat your limits when no audience is watching. Set access by behaviour, not by praise. Mercy after order. Generosity has weight only once the law has teeth. Mercy before standards reads as weakness. Mercy after standards reads as strength. Sequence matters. Line first, leniency second. When someone breaks the rule, the consequence lands cleanly. Scope cut, slot released, access paused. Only then, if it serves the larger piece, you add mercy. A one-time exception documented, a smaller penalty for self-reporting, a path to re-earn priority. Mercy that overwrites law breeds cynicism. Mercy that follows law breeds loyalty. Picture the teammate who misses a deadline and arrives with tears. If you grant an invisible extension, you train the room to weaponize crisis. Instead, the task rolls forward. Future scope shrinks until delivery recovers. Later, when calm returns, you offer a tight mercy. Ship a reduced version this week to rebuild cadence. In a relationship, raised voices end the talk for the day. The morning brings a walk and a restart. The law remains. The pardon proves you are not cruel, you are in command. Here is the reframe. It was never love doing the heavy lift. It was reliability under heat, terms that outlived moods, and consequences applied like clockwork. Be readable. Publish cadence, scope, access, and consequence. Enforce quietly. Then give kindness that does not weaken the wall. Respect will precede warmth, and warmth will finally be safe to touch. Standards first, then warmth. The wise man does at once what the fool does at last. Niccolo Machiavelli. Predictability is not dull, it is quiet control. You stop negotiating your mood with the world and let your system speak first. Publish the frame, price the clock, shrink the room, ask narrow, make one clean move, and keep a lane to repair. People call it calm. It is rules that do not flinch. Publish the frame, your standards charter. Put tempo in ink. 3 windows govern every interaction. In person, 1 full breath before any substantive reply. Written, 3 hours for ordinary matters. Formal, 24 to 48 hours for decisions that touch money, risk, or reputation. Announce these once in a welcome note, in your email signature, and at every kickoff. Acknowledge fast, decide slow. Add decision rights so availability is not mistaken for authority. Who proposes? Who approves? Who breaks a tie? List auto-escalations. If deadlines slip twice, add a witness. If budgets move, route through finance. If safety is touched, stop work. Let the system speak before you do, and half of your arguments never start. Price the clock with tempo clauses. Time without price turns urgency into extortion. State weekend, acceleration, and scope rules in lines even a tired mind can read. Weekends are off except safety. Urgent weekend work bills at 1.5x. Accelerations, trade features, or add budget. Choose one. Scope changes in writing only. Signed change order required. Publish blackout dates and maintenance windows so surprises die on the runway. Then, when a Friday 7:30 p.m. message screams, "Need this tonight," your clause answers for you. Approve by change order or trade scope. Written response by 10 a.m. You are not rude, you are priced. Shrink the room surface area reduction. Rumor breathes through crowd size and channel count. Cut it. Fewer channels. 1 email thread per decision. 1 shared doc for facts. 1 tracker for owners and deadlines. Smaller meetings. Only decision makers. Observers read minutes later. Written agendas. 3 bullets, time-boxed. Auto minutes. A template that records date, decision, owner, due date, and files. Move ambushes to paper. If someone reaches for the mic with, "Since we're all here, can we just decide?" You route it. Capture in the doc. Decision set for 4 p.m. The room cools when the stage shrinks and the script is written. Ask narrow, not nice question chains. Niceness without clarity buys confusion. Use sequences that force specifics and reveal bluffs. Start with what? What changed since the signed scope? Move to when, on which date did notice go out? Then where is it written? Which clause permits adjustment? Attach the page. Then who? Who was on the call by name? Finally, remedy. What outcome are you seeking in writing? 1 claim per sentence. No adjectives you will regret. Speak last. Over days, contradictions stack themselves while you stay measured. People who live on speed hate paper. You make paper their only path. 1 clean move, quiet enforcement. Prepare documentation in calm hours. Triggers, proof, and a template. Triggers are objective. 3 missed deliverables. 1 confirmed breach. A safety rule crossed. A payment 15 days late. Proof is boring. Dates, amounts, files, signatures, screenshots. Your template is 2 to 5 sentences any stranger can read. Behavior, clause, consequence, and if appropriate, a path back. When a trigger hits, act once inside your window. Pause, access, reassign the role, approve the change order, or terminate per clause. Publish the short memo and go quiet. No victory lap, no debate loop. Let documentation carry the message and silence carry the weight. Restoration lane repair without drama. Predictability is not vindictive, it is restorative. Pair every hard edge with a door back, priced in metrics, time, and behavior. 2 on-time deliveries and a weekly update. Restore deploy rights. Submit receipts by Friday and budget resumes. Arrive on time for 3 consecutive meetings. Calendar access restores. The lane prevents resentment from curdling. It turns consequence into curriculum. People will choose the door when it is visible and fair. You are not keeping score to punish. You are teaching the cost of chaos and the reward of order. Make the operating system breathe through scenes. A vendor emails at twilight. Costs doubled. Approved tonight. The frame answers first. Received written response by 10 a.m. The clock speaks next. Accelerations add 1.5x or trade features. Send itemized changes, receipts, and the clause permitting adjustment. The room shrinks. Moving to thread, change order vendor, A. All documents there. The questions narrow. Which purchase orders changed? Which date did notice go out? Who approved? The move follows, either documented approval by change order or a pause while your standby, supplier already retained, activates. 2 sentences to the team, then silence. Dating obeys the same physics. A late night, come now lands. The frame, nights are read by default. The clock, let's plan Thursday at 7. The room, no DM ping pong, plans live on the calendar. Questions if needed, are you asking to meet now or to set a time? The move, if pressure returns, access reduces, and then ends with one line, I plan in advance. Take care. The lane, if you want to try again, propose a time before Wednesday noon. No sermon, no sulk, no subtweet, just systems. Workplace politics. A manager hints, some say you're not collaborative. The frame, happy to review reply by tomorrow. The room, let's capture examples in a shared doc with dates. The questions, which meetings, which deliverables, what was the impact? The move, a 2-week probe agenda, owners, updates. If specifics arrive and behavior changes, the lane closes the loop. Pattern resolved, thanks. If specifics never come, escalate once with HR, memo attached. You are not defensive, you are exact. Keep the system alive with maintenance. Monday, publish or refresh the charter where people actually look signature, pinned doc, onboarding checklist. Wednesday, rehearse a switchover checklist for 5 minutes. Friday, audit the week. Where did you break your windows? Where did rooms grow too large? Which question produced the most data? Which trigger needs tuning? Send 1 gratitude note to cement norms that worked, and 1 restoration note that closes a warning on schedule. Predictability compounds when closure is on time and visible. Your shadow will beg for speeches, warmth mistaken for weakness, anger mistaken for strength. Decline the theater. Standards, clauses, rooms, questions. 1 move, 1 lane that is your stagecraft. People will misread calm as luck until the pattern repeats. Then they will call it leadership. They will know of your answer before they ask, because your system already answered. That is not control by fear, it is control by form. You are not louder than the room, you are steadier than its weather. If this sounds cold, remember the purpose: to protect tenderness from chaos. Predictability safeguards kindness because it makes chaos expensive and repair possible. You become someone others can plan around, not tiptoe around. You save your voice for moments that deserve music and your fire for problems that require heat. The rest you handle with a pen, a calendar, and a protocol that does not blink. Publish the rules, price the time, act once. Standards are the rails. Trains arrive because the track does not argue. The dividend of calm is visible in ledgers and in faces. When rooms run on standards instead of moods, cost and conflict fall together. You publish scope, timeline, decision rights, and consequence, and you keep them when the heat rises. Emergencies stop buying access because your clock does not sell fear. Meetings shrink to what can be decided. Handoffs tighten because maybe is no longer legal tender. Vendors drop the rush surcharge when you never purchase in a rush. Good partners prefer your room because predictability protects their craft, and weak actors drift away because there is nothing soft to squeeze. Predictability becomes profit. Fewer reversals, fewer midnight rewrites, and days that end on time. Calm is not softness, it is accounting. You reward early signals with time and tax, last-minute drama with cost. You separate advice from authority by naming who carries the risk. You write promises in numbers, not feelings, and the fog that once hid overruns burns off. Your dashboards are dull by design, leading indicators, failure thresholds, triggers that fire before the smoke does. Beneath each bright line sits a buffer, a vetted second vendor, a documented handoff, a week of slack no one brags about but everyone needs. These layers look like overkill until the week they save the quarter. Order stops being a slogan and becomes a supply line. From control to authority, terms visible, tempo fixed. You stop negotiating with appetite and start negotiating with math. You answer at the speed of intention, not at the speed of alarms. Response windows are public fast for fires, deliberate for everything else, and people adapt because ignoring your pace costs more than joining it. A colleague who once arrived with sirens now arrives with evidence and two options. A client who used urgency as leverage learns to brief on Monday if they want signatures by Thursday. Your timing becomes policy. Your calm becomes the weather others must navigate. Authority is logistics in daylight. You move talk to briefs, briefs to decisions, decisions to signatures. Reversals require new data, not new moods. You build exits before entrances so correction never depends on pride. You route praise down and accountability up. Interruptions become petitions for time rather than commands. When a competitor shouts, you do not sprint. You map failure modes, wait one cycle, and ship the update that outlasts their headline. When a partner wobbles, you restate the rule, add one safeguard, and continue without heat. Even rivals behave cleaner at your border because consequences arrive on time and in proportion. The game stops selling your decisions. You do not trade standards for applause, speed for flattery, or access for noise. Offers improve because your boundaries are legible. Talent stays because the incentives reward builders, not arsonists. Costs fall because you pay in plans, not in panic. Rooms grow quieter, choices grow cleaner, and victories begin to look inevitable, not because people became saints, but because the rails stayed bright while tempers dimmed. What was chaos becomes sequence. What was luck becomes procedure. Now the quiet crown. Night glass, a long table, too many slides. Heat arrives, an overrun, an accusation, a plea for just this once. You let the first exaggeration hang until it condemns itself. Then 3 sentences. What is approved? What is cut? Who is accountable? 1 safeguard added, 1 date moved and made final. You speak for less than a minute. You do not raise your voice. The room lowers theirs. The standards you posted last quarter finish most of the conversation. You do the rest by standing up. Hold the rails, keep the tempo, and let standards deliver the win.